All right, let's talk a little bit about last year. First of all, your first year here. Obviously, you had some challenges. What would you think your biggest accomplishment for the program was last year in year number one?
I think that's an easy answer is the APR. Getting a perfect APR score was huge for us, and we're very proud of that. I think it's a testament not just to the players but to the entire administration, to Tommy McClellan, the athletic administration, and our coaching staff for doing a great job.
You know, last year you had a bit of a challenge because you had an experienced team that you had to try to break a lot of bad habits. This year you got a different challenge because you got 8 brand new players.
Very true, and so both seasons, our first season and our second season, it's like teaching a whole new team. It's like teaching a bunch of freshmen, and so like you said, last year we were breaking a lot of bad habits, in our eyes bad habits, and this year it's the same thing. These young ladies have been playing 18 years the same way, and so we're trying to teach them our system.
You know, they say that every year teams take on a different type of personality. What is this year's team's personality? Have you been able to figure that out yet?
I think this year's team is unique in the fact that we have so many different weapons, and everybody brings something different, not just on offense but also on defense. You look at Kev Moten and being able to battle down low, Brandy Wingate, very versatile, Ashley Santos. From top to bottom, a lot of very different players, which is good as a coach. You just got to make all the pieces fit.
You know, from a leadership standpoint, that's always important. A coach can only do so much on the sideline. I know you've got 3 captains this year. Just talk a little bit about them and what you've seen from a leadership standpoint so far.
Well, Brandy Wingate, Ashley Santos, and Brooklyn Pomeroy are our 3 captains, and they really have done a great job stepping up to the challenge. I think Brooke has easily been our best overall leader, especially from a vocal standpoint. Ashley is a lead-by-example type, and then Brandy really gets our team going. And so going back to the fact that we have a lot of weapons when it comes to leadership.
You know, you've used the term guarded optimism a lot. We talked about that after last year was over. You know, how are we going to try to, talk to fans about this year's team and what to expect? So guarded optimism has been the catchphrase. What are your expectations for this year's team?
Well, we always want to try to compete for a conference championship, and anything less than that I feel like is a disgrace to this program, because that's what this program has always done. And so that will always be our goal. However, we do have to have guarded optimism. Do I think we have the talent to beat anybody in our conference? Yes. Do I think we have the youth and the inexperience to lose to anybody in our conference? Absolutely. And so that's the guarded optimism that we're talking about.
You got to play LSU in a close scrimmage last weekend. I know you can't talk specifics, but in general, what did you take away from that scrimmage?
Well, first, I think it was great. We had 5 players on the court that had never played a Division I game, and so it was great experience for them. It was a whole different speed, whole different physicality, and so it was good experience. And I go back to guarded optimism because there were moments where you could see we were toe-to-toe with them, and then there were moments where we were outmatched, and so it's just becoming consistent.
Talk a little bit about this year's group as far as from an offensive standpoint, maybe comparing it to what fans have seen the last year even.
Well, I think this team has a lot more skill, and we might not be quite as athletic at every position, but I think, again, we have better shooters. We have better mid-range players that are more consistent than our post play. You have to credit Mickey DeMoss for what she's done there. We're going to try to get the ball inside more. I know Coach Barmore will be happy about that.
And then on the defensive end of the court, just talk a little bit about this year's group.
Well, defensively, I think you'll see us change it up, whether it's switching man-to-man where we stay, and then our 2-3 zone. And so last year we were primarily we wouldn't switch. We'd play man-to-man about 80% of the time. This year we're probably going to switch it up a little bit more.